Thing we should be careful to not talk about.
No.
Andrew's lower back tattoo. The tasteful Deadline Hollywood font with the title. That might be tough for, right? Okay. All right. But the Penske Media on the back, like it kind of covers the whole umbrella. It's parent company, Andrew. And they just have them all. They own everything. They own all tap water. They got that too. Operating system is like, what is your, if this isn't too personal, but what's the thing you kind of push against? Because having a public persona, you know, that they never reconcile with the private, I don't think. I mean, very rarely.
Can you talk more about what you mean by that in terms of you?
What is your like baseline, you know, like some people are, we meet people all the time. Some people are, their baseline is just joyful and optimistic. Some people are insecure. Some people are coiled with anxiety. Some people are all of them at once. Some of them are, I don't know.
I find it hard to describe. I find it hard to reduce or to minimize or to even put words on it. I think I'm a generally hopeful, positive. Gosh, it's hard to avoid cliche. I think I'm someone who is always looking for warmth and always looking for love and kindness in every room I'm in or in every piece of art I'm, you know, engaging with or in any given moment. So I think I'm in, and I maybe that's just because. I think it's probably related to my mother because she was that, you know, that first umbilical connection. She was that to me. She was just this pure kind of angelic love energy and has remained that ever since. With the complications that I don't need to go into, but like, I think that's my baseline.
So
but the wound is real. Whatever that wound is whether or not it was intentional, whether or not it was completely due to this person. But there's an old idea that I really like, which is we come into this world already wounded, and it's usually one of two of our parents knows exactly how to crack open that wound.
Yeah.
And actually, it's part of the destiny of each individual person to have that very specific wound cracked open so that we can actually live into our gifts.
Wow.
Because our greatest and deepest gifts are right next to that most primal kind of built-in wound.
Of course. But thank God for that, you know, it gives us this, I have 4 kids and I need to really start working on those wounds.
You start getting them, you start setting those arrows.
Where's the weak spot? The 5-year-old, no weak spot at all.
Oh, wow, that's a weak spot
Born on the same day as Napoleon. And it wasn't until 6 months ago where she realized that she was like, I can't, you know, I was born on the same day as Napoleon Dynamite. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
That's kind of you to say. My mind is going in lots of different directions from what you've just shared. And I'm thinking about mentorship, and I'm thinking about how vital those moments of blessing that we all human beings absolutely need. And it's usually not in the family system. It's usually someone who is removed enough and objective enough to have no dog in the fight in a way.
Who was your mentor? Is there
Maya
somebody?
Margot. I was a very lost teenager. I was an athlete and I gave all that up, and my brother was already a successful academic and training to be a doctor, and that kind of left this horrendous, like, there was a sense of like, oh, I guess I'm not needed in this. But anyway, I had this amazing drama teacher that came into my life at 16, and he basically said, I see you. I see that you have something here. And I was doing just a school play, and I was just like, I was like a dog with a bow, like, I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna follow this. And it was like Truman Show, like it was like the door opening in the sky.
To tell it, what is it about We Live in Time? What is it about that interconnected relationship with Florence Pugh's character element that made you go, yeah, I have to, that's the...
Oh God, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like, and it's obviously the thematic for the film, I've been initiated recently into a new visceral understanding of how fucking short this visit is on this planet, in this body, in this miracle. And I feel this crazy new urgency. I had a different kind of urgency in my 20s and my 30s, I think, which was, as you kind of referenced earlier, kind of patching over, like trying to deal with the woundedness in a way of like whatever that addiction is, whether it's validation or like planting a flag and going, I'm safe, right? My feet are here and like, the sky isn't going to fall and I'm worthy in this kind of whatever capitalistic system. And now the urgency is it's like an urgency that was there previously has become much more predominant, which is a spiritual urgency, which is an urgency of like living life as fully and as vitally and as like, I only want to do the things that that speak to my soul, that I feel like I am the vessel for to get into the world, whatever that is. Like there are certain great films that I will not be a part of because that's not for me. I don't know why, but it's just not for me. And then I'm like, oh, it was for that fucking person to get in there and do it. So like I feel with that one, it was just came across my desk and I was like, oh fuck, this is definitely for me. It was just that, it was just that simple. It was just like, oh no, this is definitely for me because of, I'm living this right now. My dad is living this right now. I have friends who are living versions of this right now. And I don't know if anything matters more than love and a kind of awakening to how miraculous and how short and how sacred being alive is. And obviously I think culturally right now there's so much to point to a kind of a numbness and a sleepwalkingness and a lack of awareness of how fucking, I don't know, how life matters, and that there's such a kind of destruction and a reduction of life mattering, or that a soul, that we all have a soul mattering. Like there's this kind of homogeny that I feel like we're all just being kind of like made into this globule of meaninglessness. So I'm just trying to kind of
or categorization. It's just you're this or you're this.
Right.
You know, and the less nuanced, the better. And I know.